You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's the Outspoken Network here, Sportscast edition. We got your hosts Brian, Craig, and Jeff on. Guys, how's it going?
It's going good.
Howdy, sir.
All right, good to have all three of us on again. As you can see, we talked about some new graphics, some new looks, and we are bringing them out right now. They look fantastic, Jeff, and we appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you.
All right, well, come check us out, guys. If you haven't seen us on live, come check it out. Jeff put some hard work into our graphics and our logos and the way we look, and it's fantastic. So, all right, guys. Well, this is the time of year where sports is a little bit of a struggle. It's a slow period. You're you're not in the middle of baseball yet. Basketball just wrapped up. Hockey just wrapped up. We're sitting around waiting for any ounce of NFL news we can, and
We'll be covering competitive badminton.
yeah, lacrosse and pickleball is the up and comer. Well, the local pickleball there, but actually pickleball is really fun. Have y'all played that?
No.
Not yet.
It's fun. But I digress. All right, guys, we're gonna get a little bit of NBA here. Most of the show will be a little NBA. They've been giving us most of the news. NFL, we get a little bit of NHL and MLB as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the NBA real quick here. And the Nuggets just won the championship, guys. Congratulations to the Nuggets. I thought we all pretty much expected them to win in the playoffs. They look like the strongest team out there. The Nuggets finally win one. They're kind of, to me, they remind me of the Chargers in baseball or football. They're always good. They've always had talent. They've never won. And they finally did it. So congratulations to them. I didn't really think the Heat had a chance. The Heat, coming in the 8th seed, making it all the way where they did with the injuries they had. Kudos to them. Great job by the coach. But it was just too much with Joker out there and Murray. So I saw some of the parade. Jeff, you were there in Denver. Did you get to go to that? Did you, how was that atmosphere? Did you throw a beer at the at the Nuggets? And
no, I did not go. I had to work, but there were people that did. Some couple people called off, and you knew where they were. They were sick.
Yeah.
Don't turn the television on from noon to 3. I'm sick today.
So it was interesting. There was a bunch of different perspectives. Some people are actually like my former boss. She was actually at the game.
Nice.
Whenever she I think sent pictures or something of them at the game. So she went. There were some people who went to stuff outside the sideball arena. There's like a bunch of there's a place called like Tandy. I think it's called Tandy Center or something like that. I think so. It's like this area with like a huge sports bar that's got like multi levels and stuff like that. So I know people were there. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I think they had over 100 and something thousand people downtown. And I heard it was pretty insane. So there's the next day you just had a bunch of people having championship
Partying,
hats
yeah.
on, and it was pretty quiet. The funny part is it was actually kind of quiet the day after. There wasn't a whole lot, like there wasn't very much traffic. There wasn't very much anything going on. So I think people were recuperating from all that. So it was cool though. It seemed like everyone supported the team and people showed up to the parade and stuff like that. So it was good to see that.
That's awesome. And, we don't get any of those here in Dallas. But
Of course, you had you dealt with a couple of nonsense, things, but
oh, yeah, like
Yeah.
Joker's wife being pegged in the face with beer. That's people throwing full cans of beer. At
well, no,
people, like,
I think it was the day that
oh, there was a
that
shoot. Was
night.
there a shooting?
Yes, there
Oh.
was. Yeah, unfortunately. So that happened, and then like kind of put a stain on it. But the parade there was something that happened at the parade, so that kind of helped, I guess, get out of that. But I was like, come on now, like.
Craig, what did you feel about the series in Denver?
I just think
winning
Joker. I think Joker proved that he's the MVP of the league. I mean, he's the best player in the league. He's not. It's not Durant. It's not
Yeah.
LeBron. It's not anybody. It's Joker, and he has the 30 points. He carries the team. He's the spokesman for the team. He was upset about the parade. He's like, the parade's Thursday. He's like, I got to get home. He's like, so he tells the owner, like, I'll be there, but like, you're flying me on your jet back because I got horse racing Friday, like back in home. Like, I need to be home. I won you your ring. I did what we needed to do, but we need to be home. These guys need to be home with their families. And he's really big in family, and he made it about his daughter, like it all throughout the finals. And I mean, it's well deserved. I mean, they've put this team together for a lot of years and couldn't stay healthy down the stretch to get to this point, and they finally did. And they beat a team who was extremely hot, the 8th seed, and ran their way through the East, and they only let them have one game, and that's impressive.
And Joker, he's very humble. He's from what I've watched and his interviews, and it's just all about team ball, and he doesn't have to have the ball all the time. He's very egoless, and I really like that about him. But you're right. He is the best basketball player right now in the NBA, and I think going forward, people are going to have to really step it up against him and find a way to slow him down. But this guy can do. He's hitting threes. He still plays down low like old centers. He's doing hook shots. He can do it all, and it's very hard to beat him. And like you said, when Murray's healthy, this team is very dangerous, and they've been looking for this is that team. And so it kind of reminds me of kind of like the Yankees. The Yankees put all this talent. They have a lot of talent, but every year they get a little hurt, a little injured. Judges here, or there, and it's like if they could just get it together one year, and we'll see what they do. I also wanted to get your guys' opinion on something, and this really bugs me. People are killing the Nuggets because they had an easy path and they played the 8th seed, and they didn't really. I don't care about that.
If you're the 1 seed, you play the 8th seed.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like in the 8th seed in the championship, they had an E. They didn't play anybody hard, and they got. First of all, you show up and you play who you play. But when you get that number 1 spot and you're high up, you play a lesser seed. That's how it works. You play who you play. Punishing, just saying, because for a team to get the number 1 seed, it's very important in basketball and football and in baseball. It's very important, right? And you work your butt off to get there, so that way you do have an easier path. It's called being smart to the championship. So
How'd that work out for Milwaukee?
Yeah. I can't stand when people go, oh, well, they didn't really play anybody to get there, and they only played Miami. That's not the point. Point is, they worked their butt off. They got to the number 1 seed, which gives them the better matchup in the playoffs. That's the whole freaking point. So stop being stupid. I heard that a lot lately. I'm like, this makes no sense to me. I'm not going to kill a team because they were the best team in the regular season, and now you want to kill them for handling their business. This doesn't make any sense to me. But
The other thing is everybody is in there for a reason. You're there. You made the playoffs. I mean, at that point, it's a fair game. Anything can happen. So it's just kind of like, doesn't really matter, whether it's nice to be a 1 seed, home court advantage, whatever. But in the end, you still got to win the games,
yeah,
you still have to beat the teams. So it doesn't, all those teams in there are good. Let's be honest.
And Milwaukee showed up and said, "Hey, we're number 1 seed. We're gonna beat number 8." And what did they do? Butler took it over and sent them packing. So, Butler's taken a lot of heat this series. I know he was hurt. They've had injuries. Is Butler to me? He's not a star, but he's a number 1, but he's not a star in my opinion. He's very interesting. They're talking about having debates on, is this guy a Hall of Famer? And there was a couple games of series where, and I even told Craig this a couple episodes ago, where this is a game I was waiting for Jimmy to take over, and he never did. This is, the closing out game was what, like 92 to 89. There wasn't a whole lot of scoring.
Yeah, it was old school.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, this seems like some games the Heat could have won, and they let slip. But so there's not questions, but there's concerns about Butler's legacy. I think it's, and he was hurt too. He wasn't his normal self. He had.
Did they have like a major injury like before the last game?
Yeah, they missed Tyler Hero.
Well, actually, Hero came back for the last game.
Oh,
he missed the first 2 series. He played the first. He played against Milwaukee and left against Milwaukee and missed up until Game 6.
Wow.
Or Game 5.
I just don't like that. Hey, we're gonna kill Jimmy Butler because he didn't win it all. Well, yeah, he's the 8th seed. They got there. They faced the best team in basketball. So I'm not going to deduct from his legacy because of that, or deduct because of the Nuggets because their path there. They showed up, they played who was in front of them, and that was it. Just like when people in football, they hadn't used the schedule. I didn't make the schedule. The teams didn't pick the schedule. They showed up, they played, and any given Sunday, and they had to win those games. So. But I just thought that was interesting negativity coming off of both sides of it for the Nuggets and Jimmy Butler. But these two teams are going to be good for a while. If they keep this team together and Murray stays healthy, and the Heat underachieved this season to be the 8th seed with their head coach and the talent they have, and I think they're going to be better next year as well. So
I think is it now fair to say that the European players are taking over the NBA?
I think so. I mean, you got Luka, you got
Giannis,
Joker. Yeah, I mean,
jeez.
Yeah, it is pretty close. It is pretty close. I mean,
I think
a couple more stars from Europe, and
yeah. I think that the extra 2 games against Boston, where Boston pushed them to Game 7, when they were up 3-1 or 3-0 or whatever, really hurt Miami. They had to use a lot of extended energy that they didn't plan on using to finish off Boston, and I think that showed in the finals. I think they used everything they had to get there, and they just didn't have anything left in the tank to play. Not saying they were a better team or whatever. I just think they used a lot of energy to get there. And I think they ran against a brick wall, and Jimmy just emptied the tank and just couldn't refill it fast enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, we learned today that Ja Morant is going to get 25 games from the NBA suspension next season to start the year. This is really going to hurt the Grizzlies. Might even already count them out of the playoffs, because they count on him so much as a leader and the kind of basketball player is 25 games enough? That's the biggest question mark here that everyone's trying to come up with. The NBA set the right standard. I don't think they did. I think it should have been more, because the fact It was an ongoing thing. It wasn't like a one-time thing. He keeps doing it, and you got to look behind the scenes. And I think we're going to find out more as things develop with that story. But the police is hiding and covering up stories for John Morant. How many stories are still out there that are covered up by the police that we don't know about? I think it should have been 50 games. Closer to that. 40 games is what they kind of were hitting at. 25 to me is not enough. Which way y'all leaning? You think it's right? You think people are killing the 25 game suspension. The league doesn't like it, but the league never likes, when they come down on something and they always think it's too less. But it's still going to hurt the Grizzlies pretty bad. But I just don't think it's enough to kind of set the record here. And really, they should have made an example of Morant. Of you can't act this way and do whatever you want, and act like a gangster or a thug or whatever you want to call it. But I'll leave that up to you guys. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird because they were supposed to do something the first time. So 25 seems a little low, but gosh, it's kind of weird. So it's kind of this whole thing is weird.
It is. It's stupid. Is what it is. It's just stupid.
I'm gonna hand it over to Craig. What do you
I
think?
just don't. My problem is we're suspending him for the wrong reasons. We're not suspending him for what he did because what he didn't do anything illegal. But where does it show if somebody comes on the podcast and has a gun in their waistband, like it's not illegal? The gun's legal. I mean, it might have been a toy gun. We've come to find out that it might have been a toy gun. My problem is the where he really should have been suspended was if he really came out with his gun in the waistband when the 12-year-old was in his driveway. That's a problem. That's illegal. That's using it for the wrong reason. But what we're suspending him for is because basically you gave him a slap on the wrist and said, hey, don't draw any more attention to yourself. And he double-barreled the commissioner and went and drew more attention to himself. And so the commissioner didn't like that he basically drew attention to himself and didn't heed the warning. So he's like, well, now I'm going to give you this. Well, you're suspending him 25 games for something that isn't illegal. You can go on your social media site and you can do what you want. It's not.
Well,
there's no rule against it.
I'm going to fight back on that, Craig, because here's why. I'm going to disagree a little bit. It's just like when Zeke got suspended.
Again,
did Zeke do anything wrong? No. But you also got to remember, you play for the National Football League.
He wasn't in the National Football League when that happened.
Well,
the things he got suspended for something he didn't.
It had stuff to do with when he pulled down the lady's shirt and
that was what he got suspended for was in college. The woman made all that up. That was the things he did in the NBA or the NFL. He never got suspended for.
Well, that added to it. It added to the problem, and it added to okay. Let me use a different example. Just like us at work, or a police officer off duty is out there acting a fool, drinking, and on their social media, and that gets out. That police officer can be fired because of those actions. This is kind of the same thing when you're held to a certain standard when you sign these contracts and you're representing the NBA, so they could suspend him. That's why I'm getting at it. Now, you're right. If he came out and pointed a gun at a 12-year-old, or there was the story where he punched a underage kid at his basketball court.
Yeah, that's what you go off of.
Yeah, I get you. But
the possible super soaker that he had in his waistband, you got
to throw. I think it all goes in together, and because he's representing the NBA, and you don't want this being represented out there like this guy.
But say that then. Don't say it's because he showed a gun on social media. Say it's because he's giving the NBA a bad look and degrading the brand. Not he had a gun on social media.
Both brands.
I agree.
Both brands. The team and the league.
Yeah, the team and the team, the league himself. I mean, these guys are role models, whether they want to be or not. They are. And he goes and sells shoes, and people say they aren't going to buy them, and in 10 minutes they were sold out. So it doesn't apparently affect Ja's pocketbook any, except for the 25 games he's going to lose to the NBA. He hurt 13 or 15 or 18 other guys by doing this.
Oh yeah, and that team's going to suffer next year for those.
100%.
Games.
I don't think they make the playoffs, and the only reason they made it this long was to make sure he doesn't qualify for any awards. He can't qualify for MVP now. He can't qualify for any of that because he doesn't play enough of the games.
Right. Michael Jordan sells his horrible ownership of the Hornets. Just goes to prove even the greatest of the greats don't know how to run a team. So, interesting. He got a lot more money,
Yeah, he came on the top side of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were never good. I don't even know how many times they made playoff appearances, and if they made them, they weren't any deep runs. The team was just never very good.
Yeah. It's probably because he's down there challenging players and beating them in practice still.
Maybe.
They felt a little bad. Popovich signs his contract. Craig, what was that? How many years? 3 years?
3 years, and it's going to be roughly 14 a year.
They should have just said unlimited next to it.
Yeah.
Just whenever you want to retire or you die, whatever comes first.
Here's the keys, whatever they call it now. It used to be the AT&T Center. I don't know what they call it now, but here's the
Probably
keys.
Bitcoin Stadium.
Yeah, here's the keys. You own the team. As long as you'd like to, he could be the first head coach to coach from his head in a jar and still coach the team, because they knew as soon as they got the number one pick and they got this guy, that they had the rights to this guy that he was coming back.
Yeah,
I think Pop met him at the airport. I mean, it's. So
is it possible that he could be part owner and still coach?
I don't know if there's a rule on that or not.
I don't think he legally can.
He's 100%. He's 100% embedded in the San Antonio legacy. He will be.
That's strange, didn't it? But didn't. Oh my gosh. Gruden wasn't he part owner of the
Well, the NFL's trying to vote on that now because they think Brady is going to try to play for the Raiders, so they're trying to vote something now.
Playing is, I think, a little different, but coaching, didn't he do that though? In the NFL,
he was like part of GM or partly he was something.
A board or something?
he had some kind of like power of both the coach and the front office. I believe the guy in Carolina had the same thing, or no? Was it Carolina? Because Houston, that he messed that franchise up so bad. Because,
what was his name? Something Brian, right? It was
Brian.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien had ownership
trash.
And general manager power and coaching deal. He had they gave him the keys to the building, and he just destroyed. He set that franchise back years by making the moves that he's made.
They're still paying for it.
Yeah. I was just curious because I was like, is that even possible? But maybe NBA.
I'm not sure in the NBA, but I got a question.
That would be smart if they did.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's loved there. He can do no wrong. And even the years that they've been rebuilding since Duncan and them left, he's still made wonders, in coaching.
I've got a question for you guys about Popovich. And it's one that's a good debate around at the bar with the buddies or whatever. But the way the NBA's gone and the NBA, the players run the asylum. Like they have the most power. These players, now I'm not talking about the European players. European players come over with usually no ego and they're willing to play with anybody in the system. But the other players, like I'm talking LeBron and Durant and Kyrie and all them, they don't want to play for Popovich. They don't want a coach that's going to tell them what to do and demand this of them. They don't want to play for that.
Or they want Kawhi Leonard left.
Yeah, they want to play for this coach is going to listen to us, and I can do what I want and get away with it. So I really think that hurts San Antonio to get players to come in with the guy they just got, and I just don't think guys are signing up for that. Let me go sign up for this head coach that makes me show up to practice, makes me run hard, makes me do all these things that I don't want to do, when I could go somewhere else with a coach that's more team friendly. I can do what I want. I'm the star of the show type of thing. And I think that really hurts San Antonio of getting players. Popovich has done a great job of getting the team that he has and winning more games than they should. But I just really think that hurts for getting those guys in. And what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. I just think that, I mean, does it hurt them that bad though?
Well, they're not. They didn't make playoffs. I mean,
Yeah.
they're They are what is that? A play-in team every year. Usually, they don't. I mean, the Spurs haven't been that relevant in the landscape for a while, in my opinion. Like they've a couple years they've won a little more than they should, but they're not up in the top 5.
Are they like a
They're not
couple pieces
competing
away? I mean, is this something that you think is on the brink of doing something? I know they have a pretty good like star player. I can't remember his name though. Oh my gosh.
I would say 2 or 3 years out, maybe. Like
They got rid of their point guard that you're probably thinking of,
Oh, okay.
DeJounte Murray. But they have the number 1 pick, and this kid's supposed to be the hottest thing since LeBron James. But I would say that you're right with because of Kawhi leaving.
they've got nobody
Like that. But
Nobody's.
But he also coached Team USA. So there's a way he can turn it on and turn it off. And everybody wanted to play for him when they played for Team USA. So I think he's hard, and I think he's the old school, and I think you're right. But I also think he knows how to let the superstars kind of there's an even keel with Pop.
Right.
So
But
I don't
have
think
we-
it's going to stop anybody from going there. There are already people that have said that the guy from Portland wants to go and play with over there. There's some other guys that have reached out about playing over there with the number 1 pick. So we'll see if any of that comes to fruition. But I think your high ego guys, your Durant's and your and LeBron's, I don't think would ever want to play.
And Harden. Yeah,
Harden. There's no way that they would want to do that. But the guys that have, like, I think Kobe would have played for Pop in a second.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that it affects, like, it's going to prevent them from getting anybody. I just think he's the best in the business.
Yeah, in terms of coaching, like he's really good, and it's
Best still coaching.
I mean,
You're talking about best all time because that's a different story.
He's got to be really close.
he's got to be close to all time. He's got to be close. He did. I mean, how many championships?
All
did they
time to
win?
me, I think Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson, of course, but he's got to be right there.
Oh, he's
You know.
close. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, he's got to be in the same discussion.
It's a
If
good
not,
debate. It's a great debate. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a good debate.
You got 3 of them with Auerbach, Jackson, and
How many
Pop. I mean,
championships does he have?
Pop?
Yeah, he won 3 with Duncan, I think, right? And Duncan and Ginobili, and he won 3 with them, I think.
He has 5.
See, he's right there.
Jackson has what, 7, 8?
6. No, yeah, you're
Well, he
right.
had
8,
with the
8,
Bulls.
8. Yeah, he
Yeah.
won 3 with Kobe.
Yeah.
Jackson has 11.
Oh, 11.
Yeah.
11. It's not even close.
But I mean, in terms of who
But
else,
I'll
digress.
who else would be?
I'll digress. I mean, Popovich. There's no argument. Popovich is one of the best.
Yeah,
I
he's
still
top
think
five for sure.
Phil's the best, but Phil had a lot of good players.
True.
Yeah, two of the best.
But he also knew how to get the best out of them
No,
and
yeah.
not
Yeah.
let their egos get too high. It's interesting conversation. Well, speaking of interesting, maybe not really. McGregor had himself a night. Game 5, I believe it was, Game 4 when he knocked out a sucker. Well, I don't know if it's a sucker punch. He knocks out the mascot for the Miami Heat.
I'm not sure what they were going for. They had a skit, and they bring out this mascot, and he's got boxing gloves on, and they're obviously clearly doing a UFC bit, and
I think it's the second
McGregor
shot.
Obviously goes ever goes. I think so. I think it was you're supposed to hit him. He's supposed to fall down. We're supposed to count him out. Well, Conor McGregor goes full UFC, and well, the ref didn't stop the fight, so
beats him down.
Throws a haymaker to his steel.
Sends
the
him
guy
to the
has
hospital,
to be
Jeff.
sent to the hospital, and then the night did not end there.
Oh, the night did not end there, Jeff. Apparently, the video is pretty damaging. Apparently, he grabbed a girl, brought her in the allegations is he brought a girl into the restroom and raped her.
Oh, Ben Roethlisberger Jr.
Yeah, and the video shows there's video everywhere. Video shows him grab a girl. Security is keeping other people away, and he drags her in the restroom. Now, what happened in that restroom? That's between them two and God, but it doesn't look very good for him. I think the guy's been an absolute joke for a long time. This guy's punched an old man in the bar. He's thrown
people's cell phones for taking video of them.
He shattered a bus window through with a chair. This guy does whatever he wants, thinks he can get away with it. And if what he did, he should be charged with assault for sending the guy to the hospital if he went a little out of character or script. I understand what the point was, them punching out their own mascot at home too. Didn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. I think there's got to be more. Like if you saw the whole thing, then it would make sense. But clearly, the clip it didn't make sense at all.
And then the rape allegation, obviously, if that's true, he deserves jail time. But it's hard to prove.
The only other person in the UFC that has drawn more attention to themselves than Conor McGregor in a negative light. You want to talk about bringing a negative light to your business and your brand and your deal is John Jones. That is the only guy that has brought more negative attention to the UFC since being in there. And they continue to just let these guys go back in the octagon and fight for championships because they sell tickets. And if this is a real thing and there's even a remote possibility that this happened, then he should never step into the octagon again and he should be done. Now,
you're right.
I have no idea whether that'll be a factual deal. I mean, Dana White missed 2 pay-per-views because he had a domestic dispute with his wife. So, I mean, McGregor's on the backside of his career anyway, but that's not the point. The bottom line is a huge name, and hopefully, if this is really what happened, he doesn't get away with it just because he's a huge name and has a ton of money. So,
unfortunately, that seems the way it goes in life. But
yes,
I try to give guys the benefit of the doubt when these accusations come out, because some of them are false.
You look at
right?
the
punter,
kicker, for Buffalo, exactly.
Career ruined. He's hopefully going to get another shot. But when you got a back history of what Conor's done, you kind of go and you see the video. You go, well, I don't want to accuse him here, but I mean, it's pretty close. So
I mean, at least it's there. I mean, he adamantly denies it, but. If there's video you're wrong for grabbing her and pulling her in the bathroom because you don't both belong in whatever bathroom you were in. Either you're in the wrong bathroom or she was in the wrong bathroom and you brought her in there. And he's legally married, so I'm sure his wife's super thrilled.
Sure, his wife's really happy
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
You know, she's over here in London or wherever he's at, Ireland, taking care of kids and everything like that, and gets a video on TMZ of him doing this. I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
He goes under the trash human list. There's that trash human list,
Yeah.
and you can add his name to the list if he hasn't already. Just put another check next to it of
Yeah.
of
Reason
things
number
he's done.
347.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be the NBA news here. We've got a couple things to hit on from other sports. The NFL, we've got some very sad news from the NFL. Unfortunately, Ray Lewis's son has passed away at the age of 28. So we don't know yet what the cause of that is. But anytime anybody passes away, it's sad news, and our prayers and thoughts go out to the Lewis family, as that's tough, man. That is tough to lose anybody, especially when a parent has to bury their child. So that's not good news. Does anybody else have any other NFL news? So we don't got to end on that here.
No. Training camp. I think OTA started. So
Yeah, there's a couple guys hanging out that are
they
not
mandatory OTAs?
They are now, and there's
Okay.
and Saquon and another running back, I believe, for Baltimore have said they're not coming to camp because they want new contracts.
Dobbins.
Yeah.
Is that him?
So that's fun. They're getting paid millions of dollars.
Oh, hey,
and it's not enough.
Aaron Rodgers showed up. I guess he actually cares this year.
Oh, that's fun.
That's
And then he
good
got
for
hurt.
Jets.
That's why he doesn't show up, because he got hurt.
Hey guys, you never gave me any help in Green Bay. I'm going to go to the Jets and ask for everybody to come back to Green Bay.
They showed a list the other day of the people that were on the roster last year, and it's literally like 12 names deep.
They're the New York Packers or the Green Bay Jets. I don't know what you want to call them, but it's laughable at this point. I'm not a little bit bitter, but go ahead.
No. Yeah, you're
Worst case scenario, Ryan, you get a really high pick.
I could go either way with this. I could hope that Love is really, really good, or I can hope he tanks and we go 0-17 and we get the first round draft pick and draft Caleb Williams out of college football, and I think we'd be pretty set. But I digress. I didn't bring it out. I got a new Packers hat today. It's sick.
Buddy at work has original cheese head from like the early 90s.
Nice.
And he said when you flip it, it has a thing to put your nachos and then beer.
Yeah, I have one from Wisconsin growing up, but my kids tore that up. So
the running backs are it's very, very comical now with what they're doing. They are starting to see that these guys are getting released, and the guy from Minnesota gets released, and they're like, well, wait a minute, why is he getting released? He's still good, and people are going to trade Derrick Henry, and they're trying to move on from Henry, and they're moving on in Minnesota from Dalvin Cook, and all these running backs that are just coming into the league are like, well, I don't understand what.
Newsflash, kids, lesson here is
don't be a running back.
Anything but.
Yeah, because they're going to use you up, and you're going to get one contract, and it's not going to be worth very much because it's going to be your rookie contract, and you're not going to have a lot left in the tank when it comes to get the big payday.
Go be a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, quarterback, O-line, D-line, linebacker, anything but the running back, because the running back position is just not going to ever be what it ever was, and Zeke's contract just ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, way to go, Zeke. Way to go.
Yeah. So
way to go, Jerry.
Way to go, Jerry. Okay, I was about to say, I was like, way to go, Jerry.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Remember
just
when they
not,
paid Todd Gurley and he fell off the map the
Yeah.
year later? You're like, where did Todd Gurley go?
exact. His knee
Woo.
exploded. His knee exploded into a million pieces. He had degenerative issues, and he was never the same that they knew he had when they gave him the money, but they gave it to him anyway. It's just the NFL has gotten this has gotten so crazy to where they want to make it to where the quarterbacks don't count to your salary cap. They want them to have their own separate part of the cap so you could pay them because they're making so much money. Like, I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm just like,
It's hard to build a team. Like,
it's
you have to-
impossible because
you want a wide receiver to throw to, a good quarterback, a running back. You need off. It's like, oh, I got to get a cornerback, which now they're making over $20 million. And I'm like, how are you going to pay a quarterback over $50 million a year? Thanks, Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
I'm not going for $50 million, and then you sign $50 million.
I mean, but it's anybody now. I mean, Rodgers.
It's next up. Oh,
Doesn't
I know
know
I'm
your
not as
name.
good as that guy, but I'm the next
But
one.
I'm the next guy.
I'm waiting. I'm telling you, I'm waiting for that team to say, "Not going to happen, buddy. Pack
We
your
thought
bags."
it was going to be Baltimore.
Oh,
we
it should have
really-
been Baltimore.
We
They're
really
idiots.
thought it was
They're
going to be
idiots.
Baltimore, and they let us down.
They're idiots.
And they let us down.
They did. They folded like a lawn chair.
Like a lawn chair because they got scared
Mhm.
that they were going to go into camp and not have a quarterback. We
They've-
really thought it was going to be Baltimore, and they really
Yep.
just
They folded like a lawn chair
Ah.
with a 300-pound man sitting on it. Like
just
it.
tapped. Absolutely.
Just ridiculous. Baltimore, stupid. Highest paid running back in the league, though. Good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's why you
That's
can't
why
pay
they
your other
paid
running back.
Dobbins, yeah, because they paid the real running back. We did
Yeah,
pay
they-
a running
They put him in the contract. Also, first string running back.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Jeez.
Well, that's your NFL. Like I said, and when we get back in the NFL season, we will have shows on Tuesdays and Fridays. So get ready for that. Or sometime during the week. We got to figure out on our schedules on that Tuesday episode, but Tuesdays and Fridays. But let's go in NHL, Craig. This is right up your alley, buddy. Vegas wins it. Vegas wins the championship. I thought you told me when they played Dallas, they were the bigger, better, faster team. And they just looked at this Dallas Stars. I think the Dallas Stars could have beat them, but they beat the Stars. They go on. And they kind of handle Florida Panthers, and it's a good win for Vegas.
It's a great win. I mean, they're 5 years into the 6 years into it being in existence, and they've already won a cup.
Yeah.
So
They've already, and then been to others, like
and Ben, they were in one the first or second year that
First year,
that
yeah.
they
Thing is-
existed.
with our coach.
Oh yeah. So, but I don't know. Just where I said that I thought the game 6s and 7s hurt Miami, I believe the 10-day layoff destroyed all momentum that Florida had. Me and Jeff talked about this when we did a show a couple weeks ago while you were on vacation, and I said that was my biggest fear was it was either going to help them and they were going to be re-energized and they were going to come out and give Vegas everything they had, or it was going to destroy them and they were going to fall flat on their face. And when you let up 9 goals in a game elimination with your back against the wall, that, like, I thought Dallas's game 6 looked bad. This was nothing compared to what, I mean, Vegas, I think, called off the Dogs at 9 and could have scored 12. I mean, it's very good for Vegas. It's that atmosphere in Vegas is electric. They love the sports. They love the team. They're going to be good for a long time with Jack Eichel. But my problem is now you're going to see Aiden Hill probably go somewhere else.
Mhm.
Aiden Hill is probably going to be traded to this team and make a Stanley Cup, and he probably will be on a different roster next year. And because they have goalies in front of him, that, I mean, somebody's going to be on a different roster. because he was like number 5 goalie they used this year. So Andre Fleury and all these guys, somebody's going somewhere. So you're going to win a cup, and like here's a guy who was a backup for San Jose and ends up being in the discussion for the Conn Smythe playoff MVP. Marshall Salt wins that, and that's the first guy to ever be like not drafted and win the Conn Smythe Trophy. So I mean that's fun.
Cool. That's cool.
It's just really good for Vegas. You feel good for Cassidy because he leaves Boston. They kind of throw him out the same way they threw out DeBoer in Vegas, where he's been great for so long. He goes 1 year and doesn't make the playoffs, and they throw him out, and they throw him out in Boston, and Boston sets the NHL record for most wins. They throw DeBoer out in Vegas, and they go on to win a Stanley Cup. So I guess coaching changes are a good thing in the NHL, but I like DeBoer in Dallas. I think he's going to do a lot of good things. Vegas is going to be around for a long time. Colorado should be back next year because they had just a slew of injuries this year that caused them to exit early. And then you've got this new kid coming in for the number 1 pick who's lighting the world on fire. In a side note, in a kind of a head-scratching side note, the Dallas Stars trade the rights to Frederick Olofsson to Colorado for considerations at a later date. Here's a guy who they pulled into the Stanley Cup playoffs in an emergency situation, and they won the 2 games against Vegas that he played. Scores his first goal in December and is traded in, the day after the Cup is in Vegas. So it's very head-scratching that you would give a top prospect away for basically players to be named later or considerations to be named later. That's still a little bit head-scratching to me. It didn't open a lot of cap space. He makes $775,000. He's on a rookie deal, so it's not. He was on a 2-way contract, so interesting there. But Vegas is gonna be real good a long time. But I'm very interested to see what they do in goalie going forward. Whether it will be Aiden Hill and they'll get rid of somebody else, or whether Aiden Hill will be on a different roster next year.
Yeah, I am excited for next year, what the Dallas Stars can do. But hockey's really hockey after this season is really turned into my probably my third favorite sport. It's turning it's pit basketball number 4 now, and I just really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. My favorite sports, football, and then baseball, and then now it's hockey, and then it's basketball. But it's fun. So if you guys haven't been able to go to the game or haven't even watched a playoff hockey game, I'm telling you.
I was in the building for
intense.
Game 1 against Seattle, and it was the most. I had gone to several regular season games, and the playoff atmosphere doesn't even touch. Just blows the regular season away. They're going to be good for a long time, and the NHL made a real big recovery this year, and I think put a lot of fans back in seats and a lot of things back on the map. So it'll be interesting going forward.
All right, guys. Well, we got a little bit of baseball news. I know baseball, it's not a difficult sport to talk about. It's just, it's so long and stuff you say now, like we talk about the Rangers' success right now, but at the end of the year, they could fall apart and we could be right back at the beginning. So it's kind of, but
once the All-Star break happens.
Yeah, that's where it gets interesting. You look at trades, you look at
and the trade deadline.
You look at, all right, well, what do we need to make moves to change going forward here? And so
he did.
But
yeah,
What?
Craig.
Ah! Well,
Yeah, he
real
did.
quick. Well, okay. Go ahead. Talk about that, Jeff. Sorry.
No. Craig just sent me a private
Yeah,
message.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just Aaron Judge had to have another injection, so I don't think they're gonna really have him out until I don't know. I think the All-Star break is when he'll come back. But it's that injury he suffered
Going through
when
the
he
wall or
dove
whatever,
into the
yeah.
freaking wall and the stupid fence wasn't secure, and then like opened up, so half his body's out and half his body's in, yet he still caught it.
Did he?
But
did
I'm like,
he? I didn't know he got hurt.
oh yeah,
play.
it was like a crazy play. He
I
he
saw
dove
it.
up
He,
to
he halfway
yeah.
through the bullpen back there. The
Yeah.
pitcher's like, "I got you, buddy. Got
There's
you."
an investigation into that, and it was like, why wasn't that closed?
There was a guy the other
Like,
day that ran up playing the Rangers. They hit a home run, and the guy ends up running through the dugout wall, and the door opened, and luckily the door opened, and he didn't get hung on it. But it's happened several times.
So yeah, there's an investigation into that, and I'm like, come on now. And so yeah, he's been out after that game. He's been out. So I think they're more worried about a like ligament issue or anything like that. So they're honestly just they don't want him out there until he's ready, until they think he's ready. But I think they're just gonna hold him back for a while.
Other baseball news. We talked about the Athletics moving to Vegas, and Vegas has made room for him. Vegas has cleared money to, all right, guys, we're ready for you whenever you are. And what's really interesting to me is the fans out there did a a reverse boycott.
Yeah, sell the team.
And what this is, and at first it's like that makes no sense because you're giving money to the owner that you hate, but it's actually kind of funny. So the whole argument of Oakland saying, "Hey, we got to move," is because our fans don't show up, and the fans show up, they sell out a stadium for a game or a series, and they're like, "We show up, but we just don't like you." That's the problem. So I think it's kind of funny and interesting, but now you're going to have both the Oakland teams, the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland Athletics in Vegas. And is it the Vegas Athletics? Are they going to change their name? Are they going to come up, change the branding, change the colors? I don't know. I'm interested to see it. I'm all for it. Move to Vegas. When I go to Vegas, I can catch a baseball game, go on the strip, do whatever you do in Vegas. And
the atmosphere is half as electric as the hockey is, and they do the productivity that they put into the hockey arena, then it'll be interesting to watch baseball in that stadium.
Yeah. So
every time I see just Vegas is just, gosh, it's so
it's blown
big
up
now.
Sports-wise.
It's insane. Yeah. They have this massive sphere that's a screen that's going to house like concert venues, and I'm like, gosh, there's so much going on.
Wow.
They're like breaking down streets to have F1 racing. I'm like,
it'll be an epicenter. They'll have All-Star game after All-Star game. Couldn't you imagine an All-Star game in Vegas? I mean, it'll be incredible.
It's a place where you can go. You're not only going for that event, right? Like at the All-Star game. Hey, let's get there early. Let's go gamble. Let's go here. Let's do this. Then we'll catch the All-Star game.
I couldn't imagine living there.
And then it's a fight weekend,
chaotic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You could double up baseball game weekend, and then let me go over across and watch the Raiders lose. So
and then watch a UFC fight on the way out the door. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine the people that are living there. I'm like, oh my god!
If you're living in Nevada, it has to be outside Vegas. I'm not living in Vegas.
No, absolutely. I went to Vegas, and that was before any of this ever came. I haven't been since any of this has ever thing, and it was crazy.
Oh,
so I can only imagine now.
Oh.
Well, it is that time. I think we wrap it up here, boys. It's that time. We asked the wonderful question. We'll start off with you, Craig. What is in your locker this week, buddy?
Well, finally,
weekend.
kind of what we alluded to
Yes.
last week has come to full fruition, and I now get to work side by side with Brian in the front load office, and it's been a long time coming, and super excited to get started with that. I'm gonna go in this weekend and learn all the things that I need to learn from that, so I can fall into the rotation. Instead of working every Saturday now,
Fall
work
out of the
once
rotation, you mean?
Yeah, out of one and into another, out of the every week rotation,
Oh,
and that
every 6 weeks. It's wonderful.
disappoints some people, and into the 6 week deal, and so we're gonna have more rest and more time around, and I'm
Just
excited.
got to make it through the summer, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and it's been a long time coming, and I'm ready for it. So that's it. Just gonna go through the weekend and do some stuff Saturday, and then kind of go out with the guys and cap it off tomorrow afternoon. So and then Sunday having brisket for Father's Day with my dad, and gonna go hang out there Sunday, and or
Are you gonna
tomorrow.
smoke it?
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a weekend with family and friends. So it'll be interesting. Jeff, what's in your life?
Just relax. It's raining. I have probably it will be coming up this next weekend. I will probably not be on because I'm going to my mom's. So I'll probably be there next weekend.
Nice.
And hadn't seen her in like 4 or 5 months.
It's been a while, yeah.
So yeah, just chilling out here. We may go out and do a couple things, but it's gonna be a rainy weekend, so I think we're gonna just chill out. but yeah, probably call my dad Sunday. See, I'm sure they're doing something. I'm sure he's grilling of some kind, or smoking something, brisket or
weed or
no, yeah. He likes to do that. No, he likes to smoke brisket. So yeah, I'm sure they'll have a deal, and I'll call him, talk to him and stuff. So, but not much. I finished up. I'll do a couple tweaks on this thing this weekend and probably play a game. What about you, Brian? What's going on?
Well, this weekend, I got to show Craig some manager stuff at supervisor stuff at the yard, and again, congratulations, Craig.
Yes,
a little round of applause. Well deserved.
Good job.
I'm excited to have you as a partner, and looking forward to working with you, buddy. So, it's gonna work. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, real good. We're going out tomorrow to kind of with the boys to kind of celebrate Craig's promotion, little early Father's Day thing with the boys, and then I'm a little different on Father's Day, the way we do it, and Mother's Day at my house. A lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, Father's Day, I want to spend time with my kids." Well, I spend every day with my kids, so we.
Brian said, "Get out."
Oh,
that's the day I don't spend with nobody.
We get a break. It's what it is. It's a break, and
so Brian will be on the sticks all day Sunday.
Oh dang!
So on Mother's Day or Father's Day, it's what do you want to eat for dinner? The other person will cook it and do what you want to do. I can. When my wife is a homebody, she laid in bed, played video games, watch her TV shows, and didn't have to deal with kids. I think that's the best way to do it. So Sunday, I'll probably go watch. I already bought tickets to go watch The Flash, so I'm really excited to watch that.
I didn't think that came out until July.
It comes out Sunday on Father's Day, and I had to buy tickets, and I had to go to a crappy theater because at the good theater, they're all sold out pretty much, unless you want to watch it at 11 p.m. I got to be at work at 3 a.m. on Monday. I ain't going to work, so I went. I'm going to Fossil Creek. Yes, it's a crappy theater, but
really, it used to be.
Nice. It's crap. Cinemark right here by Alliance, perfect. that Fossil Creek's crap, but I will go watch it Sunday and let you guys know how it is.
Grapevine Mills has a good one too.
but-
By there,
But it looks fabulous, and I'm excited to actually have a Flash movie that really, really looks like it's going to be a DC movie that looks like it's going to be really good,
Mhm.
because those don't come around too often. But other than that, after the movie, I'm just going to come home, chill out. Maybe we can hit some video games up. We all have MLB The Show. We can play that all together.
Brian wants to get destroyed again.
Yeah. Me and Craig versus Jeff. Try
Yeah.
and take him down.
You do know we can all play as a team
We can all play as
online,
a
right?
team, yeah.
Yeah.
One person pitches, the other person's in field. I think the other person something. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty, and it cycles. I think everybody gets
Yeah.
a chance to pitch. But
Yeah.
is anybody going to go see Oppenheimer next month?
I have no
anyone
clue
know
what that is.
Oh my
I-
gosh,
That
Christopher
does look
Nolan.
good. It does
Christopher
look
Nolan, and he's making a movie about the guy who was behind the atom bomb
Hiroshima,
creation.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
Dude.
interesting. I
it
did not
looks
know
good,
this
dude.
came
Look
out.
at the trailer; it looks good, and there's no
It's-
CGI in the movie. He's doing
That's
all
why
practical
the
effects.
new
I'm like, oh,
Transformers is not that either.
that's cool.
You said the new Transformers.
Yeah.
The
Stop.
first two were great.
Yeah.
But then after
Stop.
that, when they're on 7 or 8,
You know,
it's like
just go. Just
it's
go.
like, what are we doing? I do like the actor in it. So it didn't look. The preview doesn't look bad. I just hate when we're on like 9 or 10. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Well, if you follow it, this is kind of between
Between the
like Bumblebee and the ones before. It's like 1995. You know, I mean, so
okay, I could get on. I'd get on with that. That's fine.
yeah. So
The originals are great with Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf. The first one, fantastic.
well, this is more that speed, like from the word go.
Nice.
So
All right, gentlemen. Well, we're gonna wrap it up. Like I said, I like the new look here, Jeff. Thanks for that. And
I'm gonna do a couple tweaks, but pretty much it's
looks
good.
wonderful. It looks wonderful. All right, guys. Well, it's about that time we say our famous words. But first, just want to wish all you fathers out there happy Father's Day. Do what you do on Father's Day. That's what we do. You should try it. You should try it at your house and get you a little break from being a
try it
father.
at your house and abandon your kids. That's
Yeah, and see how that works.
Yeah.
See if the wife's okay with that. I don't
Yeah.
know. She'll be okay with it if you return the favor on Mother's Day. See, that's how it's a good compromise. All right, guys. Well, God bless, and remember,
Keep it outspoken.
Keep it outspoken.